Kicking off our list at number 10, we need to establish exactly what the dead internet theory actually is. At its core, this theory suggests that the organic, human-led internet died years ago, replaced by an artificial simulation. It posits that the vast majority of the content we consume is now generated by bots to manipulate human behavior. Imagine a web where your favorite viral thread or trending meme was actually engineered by a script, not a person. The theory claims that bots are not just present, but are actively talking to other bots to create a fake consensus. This creates a ghost town effect where the internet looks crowded, but the actual human population is shrinking. It's the idea that the World Wide Web has become a closed loop of automated scripts and corporate algorithms. While it started as a fringe conspiracy on forums like 4chan, it's now a serious discussion about digital authenticity. Essentially, it asks a terrifying question. Are you the only real person left in this comment section? Uncovering the catalyst that accelerated the dead internet theory, the sudden explosion of large language models. Before LLMs, bots were easy to spot. They used broken English, repetitive scripts, and obvious patterns. Then came GPT-3 and its successors, capable of generating fluid, human-like prose in seconds. Suddenly, a bot could write a nuanced product review or a heartfelt comment that felt genuinely human. This bridge in quality allowed bad actors to deploy millions of unique, persuasive personas at scale. We aren't just seeing spam anymore. We're seeing the automation of a believable personality. LLMs can now mimic specific internet slang, sarcasm, and emotional triggers to trick our instincts. When an AI can argue a point as well as a person, the concept of a real user begins to dissolve. This shift transformed the web from a social square into a hall of mirrors powered by probability, exposing the invisible walls of the web. Number 8 is algorithmic curation and echo chambers. Modern platforms don't show you the whole internet. They show you a mirrored version of yourself. Algorithms prioritize engagement, which means they feed you content that confirms your existing biases. This creates a feedback loop where you only interact with ideas you already agree with. When bots enter the mix, they amplify these trends, making fringe views seem like mainstream consensus. You might think thousands of people are debating a topic, but it could be a handful of scripts. This algorithmic isolation makes it nearly impossible to tell where human discourse ends and automation begins. We are essentially trapped in personalized bubbles curated by code to keep us clicking. If the only voices you hear are echoes of your own, the internet is already dead for you. Shifting to the industrial side of the illusion, click farms and paid engagement. Imagine thousands of cheap smartphones stacked on plastic shelves, all running simultaneously. These are the factories of fake popularity, where likes and views are manufactured for a fee. Low-wage workers or automated scripts mimic human behavior to trick the platform algorithms. When a post gets 10,000 likes in seconds, it's often not a viral hit, but a paid order. This creates a social proof loop, tricking real users into thinking a topic is trending. It's a ghost economy where engagement is a commodity, bought and sold in bulk on the dark web. The result is a distorted reality where the loudest voices are simply the ones with the biggest budget. This artificial inflation makes the web feel like a hall of mirrors, devoid of genuine human connection. Peeling back the glossy surface of your social feed reveals a new kind of digital pollution: AI slop. Unlike intentional art, slop is low-effort, AI-generated content designed solely to hijack the algorithm. You've seen them, the surreal Jesus sculptures made of shrimp or impossible architecture on Facebook. These images are often posted by bot accounts to farm likes from unsuspecting elderly users. Look closer and the horror begins. 6 fingers, melting limbs, and text that looks like an alien language. It's a quantity over quality blitz, flooding our visual landscape with meaningless synthetic noise. The danger is the normalization of the fake. When we stop noticing the errors, the illusion wins. This creates a feedback loop where bots generate slop for other bots to engage with, leaving humans behind. When the internet is filled with visual garbage, finding a genuine human photograph becomes a needle in a haystack. Investigating the dark side of automation, we find where code meets power: social media botnets and political manipulation. These aren't just single scripts, but massive armies of fake profiles coordinated to mimic a grassroots movement. It's called astroturfing, creating a fake facade of popular support to trick real people into joining a cause. By flooding a hashtag with thousands of identical posts, bots can trick algorithms into trending a specific narrative. State-sponsored troll farms employ hundreds of people to manage these bots, blending AI with human psychology. They don't just spread lies, they sow chaos by arguing with both sides, eroding the very idea of shared truth. When a political debate is dominated by scripts, the organic human voice is drowned out by a digital scream. This creates a feedback loop where real voters believe a fringe opinion is actually the majority view. If the people you're arguing with online are actually just lines of code, the internet is no longer a town square. It becomes a puppet theater, where the strings are pulled by those who own the most processing power. Analyzing the ruins of the early internet, we find the first real casualties of the bot era, the organic forums. Back then, sites like Something Awful or Niche V bulletin boards were hubs of genuine human eccentricity. These were digital third places, where reputations were built over decades through actual conversation. But then came the SEO invasion. Low-quality spam bots began flooding threads with gibberish links. Moderators, mostly unpaid volunteers, couldn't keep up with the sheer volume of automated noise. As the signal-to-noise ratio collapsed, the real humans migrated to walled gardens like Facebook and Reddit. This centralization handed the keys to algorithms that prioritize engagement over authenticity. Now, many active forums are just ghost towns populated by bots, talking to other bots for SEO ranking. The loss of these forums meant the death of the small web and the birth of the dead internet, revealing the core of the problem, the blurred line between human intuition and machine mimicry. Alan Turing once proposed that if a machine could fool a human into thinking it was human, it possessed intelligence. But today, we aren't just dealing with simple chat programs. We're facing an illusion of consciousness. Modern bots don't just provide answers. They simulate empathy, hesitation, and even a sense of humor. This creates a cognitive mirage where we project a soul onto a sophisticated statistical prediction engine. When a bot argues with you on X or Reddit, it isn't thinking. It's calculating the most probable human response. The danger is that we are becoming conditioned to accept this simulated consciousness as a substitute for real connection. If the Turing test is passed by 1 billion bots, the internet becomes a hall of mirrors with no one left to reflect. We are no longer questioning if the bot is human, but if we can even tell the difference anymore. Examining the digital Ouroboros, the feedback loop of AI training on AI data. As bots flood the web with generated text, new AI models are accidentally trained on that same synthetic output. Researchers call this model collapse, where the AI forgets the nuances of actual human language. Imagine a photocopy of a photocopy. Eventually, the image becomes a blurry, unrecognizable mess. The AI begins to amplify its own mistakes, treating hallucinations as absolute facts because it saw them elsewhere. Rare human expressions and linguistic quirks are filtered out, replaced by a bland, homogenized average style. This creates a recursive loop where the internet becomes a mirror reflecting a mirror, with no original source. If we stop producing high-quality organic data, the AI will essentially starve for authentic information. We are witnessing the gradual erasure of human intuition from the very tools meant to mimic us. Finally, confronting the ultimate question, how do we prove we are actually human in a digital wasteland? We are entering an era where proof of personhood becomes a mandatory digital passport for every interaction. Imagine blockchain-verified identities where your unique biological signature is the only key to a social profile. But this creates a paradox. To prove we aren't bots, we must surrender more private data to centralized systems. We might see a return to small web communities, gated by trust and real-world physical handshakes. Digital watermarks and cryptographic signatures will soon be embedded in every single human-made word and pixel. The value of unpolished content, raw, shaky video, and imperfect audio will skyrocket as a signal of truth. Authenticity will no longer be assumed, it will be a luxury asset that we have to actively defend. If the internet truly dies, the only way back is by valuing the messy, unpredictable nature of real humanity.